black sand prospecting. I'm at the bar again. At the bar on a Saturday night. Let's see if people can show up here. Be interesting to see if there's anybody that shows up. Well, I'm going to get it set up here on tripod. And I'm going to do a little work here at the Lawson Bar today. Hopefully, I've got enough signal to stay good on this for live stream. Got a new microphone I'm trying out. You'll have to let me know if you can hear me, if anybody shows up. Let's get this all tightened up here. There we go. All right, well, I'm at the Lawson Bar. I'm going to get set up here. Yeah, it looks like we got a couple of people that showed up for a second there until I got the stream lost. But it's back now. Anyways, let's take a look at this. The bar is way down. Got that river gone down some, and we can go ahead and grab some material from over in here now. I've got some rocks that go across this way, some bedrock, and hopefully it'll catch something. I'm just here for a couple of minutes to play around. Then I'll go ahead and I will, probably come back tomorrow. Anyways, got the fancy new microphone. Let me know if you can hear me. Grabbing some goodies here. Look at that, there's 4 of you now. How's it going this evening? I think I'm going to use the sucker here. See if I can't get some stuff out of some of this crevice area here. Go right into the classifier. Can you all hear me good? Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate that. Got one of those little $20 microphone things from the big old Jungle website. Figured I'd give it a try real quick. Unfortunately, I was able to park right next to the water. What I'm going to do this evening is I'm going to go ahead and use this to pull some of the bigger cobbles out from in between the crevices here in the bedrock. And then we'll use the sucker here, Yavi pump, hand pump, whatever you want to call it. What do you guys like to call it? In a second, I'll bring you in here and show you what I'm doing. What I'm doing and why. All right, so I don't know how well you'll see it, but we've got that bedrock going down here, coming down through here. The water kind of comes through here. It comes in at a little bit of an angle with this. It's going to bring some material in, and it's going to deposit the material as it's coming up and kind of stop like right in through here. But I've dug in here, I've got some flood gold, and that's really all I'm looking for right now. A little bit of flood gold. Don't know that we're going to find much today. That's a better location. Let's see what you can see here. Here we go. I'm going to clear some of the bigger material with the shovel. Probably should have filled my bucket with water first, but that's all right. I'll do that with the sucker. All right. Yep. You see me there. I'll go ahead and move this where you can see it now that I'm not standing there. Now I've got a classifier that I made here out of a couple of 5-gallon buckets and some hardware cloth, some pop rivets. It's deeper than the regular 5-gallon bucket one, so I like that. You can get a little more material through there. All right, so I'm going to kind of suck up some material from these cracks here. See if we can find some flood gold. So what are you guys out doing this Saturday evening? Anything exciting? By the way, talk to one of the guys that actually makes these in a version that goes into a 5-gallon bucket as you do it, and kind of there's people going by. Can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but the guy's name's Cash Best, if I remember correctly. Anyways, he gave me some tips on one that I have at home. But anyways, basically he said you're trying to get about 80% water and 20% material. That was what I got out of the conversation. Now in this particular version, this has about that much probably area where it saves some material in it. This goes up a little bit further than the end of this. So some of the heavies will end up going into here, but you want to have a lot of water in with this. Some people call these hand dredges. And that's one of the drawbacks to these. But here's what I was talking about. You look at that, this comes up way higher than this does. So we've got some material in there. I'm going to dump that out as soon as it pops off on its own. But some of your heavies will stay there. Let's see. Hey! All right, so back to some more material here. And honestly, this is pretty much the way prospecting goes. You see a lot of these videos, including mine, that have been edited, obviously, to eliminate a lot of this extra time that we're just sitting here washing rocks. Got down to the bottom of that one, I think. Very cool. Water goes through there and see. Yeah, it looks like I'm down to the bottom of that crevice. Very cool. So now I can go ahead and move some of the bigger stuff off of the edge here as I'm going along this line. And I can start sucking that up. Yep. I'll put it on there a little harder this time. Makes it a real bear to get back off there, though. Now they have an event here. I don't know if they're going to have it this year or probably will, and I don't know when. I'll have to look it up. But they have an event here at the bar that it's pretty fun. I think it's in June, at least if I remember right, it's been in June. The last couple of times it has rained hard a day or two before, and where I'm standing is about this high in water. So this is actually about the beginning of where you'd really find some flood gold. When it's this much higher, you're up at the bank. So you're going to find really tiny flower gold primarily at that point. Classify that real quick. I need to redo this red section of the bucket. I've lost two of the spots where the handles were, so it's about time to rebuild it again. Washing rocks. Now there normally isn't a large volume of big chunky pieces. Most of the stuff, even the bigger stuff that I found isn't any bigger than about probably 1/16 of an inch or so. Crossed or flat, they look big, but they definitely go through this 1/4 inch or 3/8 mesh material I've got. I will dump it out there and I'll look at it later. Let me go grab one of my pans and we'll pan that out and see if there's anything in there. Now I did pick a completely random spot other than the fact that I saw there was a crevice there. Very shallow crevice at that. But you know, they say gold is where you find it. Most of the time it's in the black sand. That's why the name is black sand prospecting. Because you know, most of the time we're looking for black sand to indicate that there's some gold. All right. Now, where will I pan this out? Where I'm not going to fill in my hole again. Let's take you that way. Nice, friend. I'm doing pretty good. I was going to help my parents with a CV axle on their 2007 HHR. Drove 90 miles with the part to come fix it. The part was wrong. Ordered a GM 8244 and ended up getting an 8224. So it didn't fit. Splines were wrong and the length was wrong. But we got the right part coming. Not a big deal. All right, so let's see what we can get here. I am going to let's move you around here. I am going to go right over there. See me here? Trying to keep my shoes fairly dry. I didn't put boots on. Yeah, you can see me. And yeah, Jeff Williams will tell you, you're gonna get wet. I get it. And yes, my feet are a little wet, but I don't want them soaked. Let's stratify this here. Now, there's a lot of sand in this, kind of a gravelly type sand, a real thick sand. So they say that gold is not in the sand, but we're talking flood gold here, so it could be pretty much anywhere. I'm using the Garrett Super Shoes today. It's got a nice deep ripple here, so it catches the gold. You can be a little sloppy with these. They're a great beginner pan, other than they're a pretty large pan. Stratify that up. Rinsing the material off from the top side there. The stratifying brings that heavy material down into the bottom. Gold is 19 times heavier than water, the way I understand it. I'm not sure the density of some of these other materials in here, some of the granite and quartz and the ironstone. Get a little bit of lead in there too, fishing weights. I've even found a fishing lure before. That was pretty exciting. That was a brass lure, so it was pretty shiny and gold looking. Might have fooled me. Yeah, if you ever wonder why prospectors end up with sore backs by the time they're done at the end of the day, look at the bends that I've got going on here. I am stretching some muscles in my legs and in my back that don't normally get stretched. But I'm almost done getting that material down. I do take a little bit of time with them. I've seen guys just rip through this stuff with these super sleeve pans. And, I figured I did all the work of trying to get that material. I'm going to do something with it. If I really wanted to be careful, I wouldn't have done it here at the river. I'd have taken this home and done something with some jet dry and a panning station, and maybe even used one of my little sluice boxes, clean up sluices. Alright, I think I'm down far enough for a quick reveal. Let's see. I'll show you in just a second if I see anything. I might have to get my headlight out because it's getting dark enough to where I can barely see stuff. I see black sand though, by golly. I was out here last weekend pretty late. Over on the other side of the bar here. And I broke loose crevice. Yeah. Well, I tell you, I don't really see anything. If they are, they're micros. There's some black sand in there for sure. But there again, just because there's black sand, you can see that just kind of lining right along there. Let's see if I can get that up high enough. There you go. We got a nice long line of black sand, but I don't see any gold in there. So, like I said, that was just a random spot. We're playing. Tomorrow, I'll go ahead and get in here and get in the spot, hopefully that's a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and pan that back one more time. But this time, I'm going to have my little headlight, I think. Give me just a second. I'll have to watch looking at the camera now. Oh, what do we got going on here? 17 people. Hey, surprise. Very cool. Not bad for my first live stream. So if you're watching, tell me how the sound is. Friend said that it was pretty good. So let's just see if it was so dark that I couldn't see the gold. Wishful thinking, but you know, whatever. We're in an area where we're doing just some flood gold anyways, where I'm actually getting material from. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some micro stuff in here that I wouldn't be able to see without a headlight at this time of night. Yeah, I see one little speck. two little specks. Let me slow down my panning here. And it'd be great if I used a black pan for this. Okay, well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because I can barely see it. There is one little micro right there. And that's about it. So, I consider that not getting skunked. That I beat the skunk. However, we're going to let that one grow up a little bit. Number one, I don't know that I'd actually be able to find it again. Probably could, but there we go. All right, well, I'm going to play a little bit more here, but we're going to call that good for now. Neil's index finger side. Good spot for flood flower. I'm guessing gold. Yep. Let's see. I would check the washout downstream to the other side of the creek. Yep. I've actually done sniping here. I've got some video that I didn't put up yet. I've got a bunch of video. It's honestly, at this point, I'm going to say that it's pretty much home video because it's stuck on the computer at home and not on YouTube. So maybe what I should do is get off my butt and do some video editing and show you some of the stuff that I've been doing, actually. What do you think? Anyways. I think what I'll do is I will take Neil's index finger. Oh, hey, thanks. Appreciate that, Neil. Anyways, I'm going to take Neil's advice and I'm going to go down the creek. I've been here, like I said, I've been here a bunch of times, was here even last weekend. Took the truck and down that way, went across and was actually on the other side of this, on this big rock on the other side over there, probably maybe 30 feet away, but on the other side of the rock that's sticking up about 5 feet out of the water. Anyways, that's the only way you can get to that side is to drive around and drive back up the bank. But the old Chevy, she's a little bumpy. You get to driving over those cobbles and you darn near need a kidney belt. She's a rough ride, but she's fun to drive and has a little cool factor. I do car stuff as well. Anyways, I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys.